Question 7a asks you which ions are in hydrochloric acid and which ions are in sulfuric acid. So for this you have to remember the formula. Hydrochloric acid is HCl, so it contains hydrogen ions and chloride ions. Sulfuric acid is H2SO4, so again it contains hydrogen ions, but 2 of them, and sulfate ions. Part B gives you a number of tests that can be done on each acid. Part 1 asks you which 2 tests will give the same result for both the hydrochloric acid and the sulfuric acid. Okay, so the first of these will be the test to test the pH using a pH meter. Both will be acidic, and so with a pH meter you'll get a pH below 7, so in the range of 0 to 6. Both acids will also react with magnesium to give hydrogen gas. So what you would actually see, and that's what we're being asked for here, what you'd actually see as a result would be fizzing or bubbles. Part 2 asks you which 2 tests give different results for hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid. So test C, which is to add silver nitrate, would give a white precipitate with hydrochloric acid due to the chloride ions being there, but it would give no precipitate with the sulfuric acid. Test D, which is adding barium chloride, would also give a white precipitate, but this time with the sulfuric acid, and again no precipitate would form with the chloride ions. This table gives you those tests, so if you can't remember, just look back at the front of the booklet. The chloride ions here in the hydrochloric acid, when you add silver nitrate to them, form a white precipitate. The sulfate ions from the sulfuric acid, if you add barium chloride to them or barium nitrate, again a white precipitate forms. Part C asks you to name the salt that is formed when hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid both react with sodium hydroxide, and it also asks you to provide the formulae. So the salt formed between sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid is sodium chloride. The formula for this being NaCl. You need 1 of each because Na plus and a Cl minus. You've got to balance the charges out there, 1 of each does that. And then with sulfuric acid you form sodium sulfate. The formula for sodium sulfate is Na2SO4. Sodium has got a 1 plus charge, sulfates have got a 2 minus charge, so you need 2 sodiums to cancel out the 2 minus on the sulfate group.